Welcome to the Ancestrally Healed Kitchen, where today I'm going to show you how I like to make my homemade chicken bone broth. What I love about this is it's a wonderful base if you want to use it in other recipes, and because of some of the ingredients I use, I believe it has some antibiotic and antifungal properties. And of course, once you get the principles, I would love for you to make this your own, because at the end of the day, that's what's so great about food, when you make it yours. Let me show you some of the ingredients that we're going to use today. We're going to start off with some of my secret ingredients. Chicken feet, because this is what's going to make your bone broth extra gelatinous. We're going to use some form of chicken, which in this case, I'm using a chicken soup pack, and I'll talk to you more about this a little bit later. We're going to use some cilantro, because this actually helps get rid of heavy metals in your body. We're going to use carrots once we peel it, a few cloves of garlic, a white onion, a few stalks of celery, and of course, the most important thing, a very important multi-mineral sea salt. I know what you're thinking. Enough about the ingredients, Michael. Let's get started. In this video, I am going to use an Instapot because it has many different settings, some of which is pressure, another could be slow cook, and which are both ways that we can use to make bone broth. But if you don't have an Instapot or a pressure cooker, it is okay. All you have to do is put it in a large soup pot and simmer it for at least 24 hours, or you can put it in a slow cooker. In this video, I am using a chicken soup pack. Well, what is that? So when they process a chicken, what they do is they cut off the breast, the wings, all those delicious parts that you'll see typically on your aisles in your grocery store. And what's left is a carcass. In this carcass is all the bones, the fat, all these leftover protein and amino acids that is going to absorb into your broth. And not to mention all the collagen. But Michael, I don't have chicken soup packs. That's okay. You could actually make this work as well by purchasing 2 packs of wings and a pack of drumsticks, or other cuts of the chicken that has a lot of joints. You want movement. The more collagen, and the more amazing benefits that you're going to get. So chicken feet is a secret ingredient. What we don't think about is the more movement an area has, the more collagen, the more amazing buildup of different nutrients. So in this case, the chicken's foot is always moving. And for that reason, this is what's going to make your soup, once it cools, turn into the thickest, most gelatinous jello bone broth you have ever seen. Let's get started. First step is we're going to take our 2 to 3 celery stalks. In this case, I am using 3. And the purpose for that is it adds a really nice flavor. And I am just going to quickly cut this up. Next, we're going to take our carrot. Before you chop the carrot, you're going to want to peel the carrot. And the reason for that is every single vegetable, every single fruit is going to put their most defense chemicals at the skin because they want to stop predators or any type of invasive species from being able to affect it. So always remove the skin of anything that you're going to put in your cooking to eliminate the opportunity of absorbing and consuming those defense chemicals, which for some of us can cause extreme inflammation and other side effects. So when I cut the carrots, I actually don't cut them as thin as I do the celery. And the reason for that is it's about to be in a pressure cooker. So you don't have to cut it as small to be able to get all those nutrients absorbed into the broth. Next up, we are going to use 1 white onion. And what we don't realize about white onions is they have a very strong antibacterial and antifungal properties, which is why if you're fighting something, this is an incredible ingredient to add because it is a natural antibiotic that's been used for generations. So for this one, I remove the top, and then I just slice it into thin pieces, because again, you don't have to go so small because the pressure is going to break down this so quickly and all of the nutrients are going to absorb into this broth. And if you're somebody that's currently more carnivore or you're not including onions in your diet, don't worry, you don't have to include it. And now we're going to take the cilantro and we're going to cut up about half of it. And we're going to do this really, really, really small because we want to make sure that we allow all the essence of this herb to get into your broth. And again, if this is something you don't want to include, you don't have to. But if you're sick and you're dealing with any type of heavy metals, this is something that I strongly suggest you consider keeping in your broth. And most importantly, next we're going to add in the bulkiest portion of our soup, the chicken soup pack, or in your case, it could be any type of chicken portion that you would like to use. Next, we add the chicken feet, because again, this is what is going to make sure that our broth is the most gelatinous, thick, satisfying, satiating bone broth you've ever had. Next, we are going to put in some garlic, about 4 cloves. And this is for the same reason as the onion. Because this does grow in the ground, it is going to have antibiotic and antifungal properties. So if you're not feeling good, this is exactly the type of ingredient you would want to add into your soup to help you recover better. Just press it. The skin comes right off like that, and throw it in. Repeat for the other 3 cloves, just like that. For a little bit of the paper, but I try not to. And 1 more. Now people say, Michael, how do you get your bone broth to taste so good? I actually think this is the real secret. I use a really good quality multi-mineral sea salt, and it harnesses the power of the ocean. It harnesses the power of the sun. This is as natural as you can get, and it has every nutrient that your body needs in it. And people say, well, how much salt do you put in it, Michael? I actually can't tell you because I just put in 3 to 4 really good pinches. That looks about right. And now for the most important secret ingredient, the most optimal water you could find. Because just like everything else, your base is the most important. And if you don't have the most quality in what you're putting your base, you're starting off on the wrong foot. And I use this to make sure I get all the salt into the soup, fill it up to the line, and close the lid. Set it to pressure cook, and I like to do this when it's chicken for about an hour, and then press start. See you in an hour. It's been an hour, time to release the pressure. Now that the pressure is all released, this is my favorite part. Now what I like to do is I like to move everything around. Now, I will strain out all the liquid because for me, I'm not interested in any of the fiber that comes with everything else that is in this soup. So after I separate all of the cooking material from the liquid, I am then going to jar it. I will see you guys shortly. And make sure to press to get all that liquid out. Next, I like to use a fat separator because I really want that delicious golden bone broth that has everything that I really want. And I know chicken is not actually fed an ancestral appropriate diet in most cases, so we know that their fat is actually slightly imbalanced. So what this allows me to do is it allows me to put each amount that I would like to either save for later, and then if I am saving it for later, I'll put just a little bit of fat on the top because that creates an air-like seal, which will actually allow your bone broth to last longer. And if you're like me and you can't wait, you get to enjoy some as you continue to process. Oh, talk about something that warms the soul. Or you could store it in a mason jar and either refrigerate it or freeze it for later consumption. If you are going to freeze it, I recommend you should first refrigerate it, let it become gelatinous and thick, and then freeze it. That will stop it from it expanding like normal liquid does when you freeze it. If you're feeling sick, looking for a base in your recipe, or you just enjoyed this content, please like, comment, and subscribe. Look at that color. And if you're planning on storing, the best is to put just a little bit of fat right on the top, and that will create an airtight seal so it'll last longer. And once that hardens, I will then move it to the freezer.